Nelly Oduor. She is the program director at Kefri. Welcome to the Daily Brief at this hour.
Thank you so much, Wanjiru.
All right, and we are celebrating the World Bamboo Day tomorrow. It is celebrated every 18th of September. And we were just talking about how much we don't recognize bamboo. We are blessed to have so many bamboos just next year at the Michuki Park. But first, let's talk about why it's important to celebrate this day that most Kenyans probably don't know why.
Thank you, Wanjiru. Rightfully, I think people may not even know what bamboo is. And bamboo, they may look at it, but it's actually a woody grass. And in Kenya, we have one indigenous species, and it's what we commonly call the highland bamboo. And it's found in the highlands, all altitudes of 2,300 meters above sea level to 3,000 meters above sea level. And rightfully, you'll know that will be Mount Kenya, the Mau Ranges, the Aberdares, in those areas.
Yes.
So it was only communities who lived around there who knew about it. But then the importance of bamboo in matters environment were actually recognized several years ago. And we realized when we had a presidential ban in the early 80s, which restricted the use of bamboo because all those were our water towers. When we interfere with our water towers and our country being
Okay. You mentioned it was first announced in 2009. That is the Bamboo Day celebration. And one might just wonder why it took so long for a day like that to be announced. But of course, it remains a very important material of choice for traditional craft. Right here in Africa, we see a lot of that being used in the coastal region on matters infrastructure and building. But of course, it is a very important event to be celebrated tomorrow. That's the World Bamboo Day that is celebrated on every 18th of September. Just to raise awareness about this fast-growing grass plant. Nelly just told us that it is classified in the grass species there. And from the live pictures there, you can see some of the bamboo plants in a plantation there. And most people who know much about bamboo have quite invested on this particular grass plant. And Nelly, let's get back to that. We can see from the pictures there on how it's grown. Maybe we can start from that because many farmers do not know about it, and especially when we talk about the kind of soil and features that are supposed to be looked into before you start growing the bamboo.
Right. So we only have one indigenous species. So when we now introduce, and it's in specific altitudes. So Kefri found out that wheat has many other uses and many other species.
Right.
We have over 1,600 species globally. So they also grow in different elevations. So Kefri was able to import some about almost 30 years ago, just to try and see in different regions in Kenya where they can be suitable. So it was from there that we discovered not all of them seed. Some of them you cannot do vegetative propagation, all the different types.
Yes.
So as you have rightly said, because you can see from the pictures about the seedlings, so you can either do them through cuttings or through seeds or through even wildlings. When the seeds fall, you can collect the little seedlings that form. So we are able to raise the different species through that. I know before we just went on that, you had asked why we took so long to celebrate this or recognize the bamboo.
Right.
And I think it's not so long ago, because that was about 12 years ago, through a World Congress meeting that was in Bangkok, that they realized bamboo is not just a poor man's timber. This has more value. And the technologies of even just producing the bamboo into different forms of artifacts. It's a food, it's a fodder, it's the environmental benefits are enormous. So I think it's from there the recognition, and because it's mainly found in the Asian countries. And in Africa, it was also very endemic in different places.
Yes.
So to introduce it in different areas is something that we now are learning, that we should be able to elevate that information and disseminate that information of the importance of bamboo.
And even from the pictures there, we can see the farmers are smiling all the way there. And probably someone is wondering about the profitability. Does it have good returns in investment? Does it have handsome returns?
Oh, well, I guess it does, because also why we're also promoting bamboo, because as you can see, when you see bamboo growing, you'll see very many poles. You don't cut it as if it's Napier grass, the whole entire thing.
Right.
Because every season of rain, there will be new shoots coming up. So you only remove selectively. And those selectively, then it continues producing. And it will produce for many years, 50 years or even more, until it seeds. So once you've planted, you'll start harvesting from age 3, 4, 5, 6, depending on the species type. And it will continuously produce for you clumps. And each clump that you'll see with different bamboos, you can get out 10 to 15 clumps, poles. And if you have very many in a farm or even in an area, this is again profitability for the farmers who are trading in it. Those who are raising seedlings, that is also another investment to be able to have a return of investment. You can be providing the seedlings.
Yes.
And then because of the different uses, so the research has shown, and economics, that there's a return benefit of about 7 years. Once you've planted, you start selling, and depending on how many are within a region, just market forces in terms of how can you command the market to come to you. And collectively as a cooperative or a group of farmers, then a truck can come instead of having one farmer with just about 10 clumps here and there. Yes.
So Nelly, you're saying that it's one of an investment that you can have aside, because it probably takes about 3 to 4 years to mature.
Yes.
And let's now talk about the market. Maybe a farmer has planted and doesn't know where they are supposed to take the bamboo for sale. We have had successful stories on just how bamboo went from, we talked about it being a flower to a cash cow.
Yes, for sure, definitely. Right now, we are at a season where since we started demonstrating that we can grow bamboo, then now we had to show where is the market, what can you do with that?
Right.
So through a project that we are implementing that's funded by the International Bamboo and Rattan Organization, that we are trying to push the understanding of bamboo and how it can be of economic assistance, not only to the farmer, but also to the government. We're talking of the Big Four agenda right now, the Vision 2030. How can we put money and food on the livelihoods, on people's tables? And what that means is that we now have invested companies. There's one which is making poles, transmission poles, out of bamboo, with bamboo. There are toothpick companies that have come up. We have also biomass energy as well. This country is very dependent on biomass energy for domestic use and also for industrial use. You know, the tea factories are still using that. The vegetable oil processors are still in need of biomass energy. Bamboo can provide that particular resource for that. So there's market for this. And what we are doing is that we are now coordinating the farmers. We are now coordinating even and requesting investors come in, even as we have people who have land who can plant bamboo, that right now, even as factories are coming up, the bamboo, by the time it's mature, then we'll be able to have a resource for that, because we can now target only what is planted. The natural bamboo is under conservation, so we can be able to do that.
Let's now talk about environmental conservation, still in regard to bamboo growing in matters preventing pollution, especially. We have seen waterways choking of the plastic straws.
I know.
And we have bamboo straws as well.
Yes, yes. You know, it's amazing what the bamboo can do. Actually, they're talking about 10,000 documented uses of bamboo. Because not only can you use it the way it is naturally, you can even break it into fiber and reconstitute it. And that's why the uses are beyond even comprehension in terms of even just trying to understand what you can use it for. So we've seen a CBO in Busia trying to make actually bamboo straws. But what would be a challenge is now to make them uniform. So if we can get a way of breaking it up into fiber and reconstitute it, then you'll have uniformity of the product, and that way, even if it's thrown, it will be biodegradable because you're not adding any chemicals into it. And you know, so those are some of the things that we're talking about. The pollution. Even as you plant bamboo, even along riverine, not only is it protecting the soil, it is also helping to remove the heavy metals out of the waterways. So it's also a product that is, we call it phytoremediation in scientific terms, just to lift out and to clean out the rivers. So it's something, even as we're looking at Nairobi River, because I'm seeing we've got dams that are going down the Nairobi River. This is something that we should be promoting, planting of bamboo along the rivers, and we're already doing that actually with youth groups along Nairobi River. The other thing about bamboo, it's because of its amazing way of carbon sequestration. We have a lot of greenhouse gases. So its capacity of actually collecting the CO2s is actually 3 times higher than actually trees. Yes, so that is also something, a plus. And remember, the tree will remain on land unless you cut it. So it will continuously be soaking all those greenhouse gases. For carbon sequestration, it's one of the plants that we are also promoting even globally through even our partners, through INBA, and even the people who are funding it.
And come to think of it, Nelly, we have talked about possible over 10,000 uses of bamboo, and it only takes about 3 years. It's a good investment. What would be the reason as to why farmers in Kenya have not quite taken it up? Is it lacking of understanding on matters, maybe ecological zones, or what could be the problem on that?
Yeah, thank you so much, Wanjiru, for that question. That is one aspect, actually raising awareness on the different types of bamboo suitable for the different ecoregions. We don't want to have something that where we planted trees that people thought it was good for different ecoregions. So the bamboo, again, so it has different suitabilities of different areas, and KEFRI is about to publish and make that aware for what would be suitable for the coastal area, what would be suitable for the lake region, the highlands, and also the drier parts of Kenya. And then the other thing is also the investment for processing as well. The knowledge of how can we process this material? So where are the equipment? Are they available? So we are also trying to get enterprises funded even with small equipment to be able even to just process the bamboo and then be able to make products. The larger factories which can come in can be able to even make further products which are reconstituted, which need much more bigger machines. Funding, again, investments. So that is also something else that we want also to push with our investment in terms of the funding agencies, whether it's the banking, the financial agencies that can be able to come in and support environment, support tree growing, support bamboo growing, because there is a return of investment. And if it's done calculatedly, it's calculated properly, then they can be able to understand that they can get a return of investment. Already we have projects that are looking at tree growing with farmers, and there are places that it's working already.
You know, every day we are being challenged to plant a tree according to your age, Nelly.
Yes.
Have you planted any?
Oh yes, I've planted very many.
Okay.
Very many.
I won't ask how many.
So you can know how old I am now.
All right, and let's talk about your drive and how many companies or what type of companies are using bamboo at the moment. We've had cottage industries, you know, having to use the bamboo. What other companies have come in this?
Yes, so other than cottage industries, and we have quite a few. I know there's some in Nairobi, there's some in Eldoret and Busia, and in Vihiga as well. We also have Ecopole that's making the transmission poles, like I'd mentioned.
Yeah.
There's a company called Josenka, which is in Thika, also making toothpicks. Previously, we had a company in Nakuru making toothpicks some time back, but they had to close because of the resource availability of the bamboo.
Yeah.
But this is something else that can come up. The machines are available. I think with a 2 million investment, one can be able to have a series of machines that can be able to make even the breakdown of the bamboo into that. We are looking at also another factory coming up in Narok,
Yes.
under the Greenport Enterprises, who have contracted over 1,000 farmers to grow bamboo, covering over 1,500 acres. So that is a resource that's almost available. We are hoping they'll have their factory up and running anytime soon. There are also other enterprises who have now put up for briquetting, charcoal production from bamboo and other forest wastes, that they can be able to do that. Like I'd mentioned, that we are so dependent on biomass energy for domestic use and also for industrial use.
Right.
So they're coming up. They're coming up.
Okay. And as we wind up, and as you said, I think it should be fast-tracked because it's very sad that we sometimes have to import a small substance like a toothpick. And as we wind up, we do know that Kenya imports about 60% of bamboo products from China. Can this trend be reversed as we wind up?
Yes, Wanjiro, this trend can be reversed slowly. Because where China is, it also didn't happen overnight. But what we want to do is that we don't want to rebuild the wheel. We want to learn from their experiences. And that's the support that we are getting from the Chinese government and also the Dutch government. Yeah. The things that they have learned over the years. And that's why they're supporting this program within the East African region in Ethiopia, Uganda, and Kenya, so that we learn how can we move faster. So it is possible. Because right now, even as we talk about Kenya becoming an industrialized country,
yes,
these are the things that will move. A fast-growing plant, this is a fast-growing plant, sustainable plant. It's also ecologically fit. We are looking at 10% tree cover. Where will it come from? Bamboo and other tree species.
Yeah, a part of that.
And exactly. So, and if farmers want to have a tree or a plant that will bring them value. It's not only just for environmental situations, but they want something that will have. So it is something that will come in a few years. So let's see in a few years, before 2030, definitely we'll be talking about something different. And especially in this decade of the UN decade of ecosystem restoration, bamboo plays a big role. And that's the World Bamboo Day.
And I'm sure you will definitely be looking forward to that. Nelly Odur, the program director at KEFRI, just highlighting to us some of the most importance of bamboo just a day as we celebrate the World Bamboo Day tomorrow. It is celebrated on every 18th of September just to raise awareness about this fast-growing grass plant. And that's it for Daily Brief at this hour. Thank you so much for watching. Stick around for Newscast at exactly 1 p.m.